Okay, so here is a bubble example. It's from a hyperturbo, but you can apply it to 6, 9, 18. Should do it. We're looking at double theory, but with high blinds now. And so we are on the button with about 5 big blinds. Okay, we have this player here who's really short. It's really, really important that to notice that we have more than twice their stack. They have 400, and I'm not looking at their 90. I'm looking at their 400. Twice that obviously is 800, and we have more than 800. So right away this goes, okay, be a bit careful. Now, the second part of the question, in addition to what our range is what if these two switch spots, this 1088 guy and the 1750 guy? So first off, if they switch spots, okay, so now we have the 1080 guy in the big blind, I would be much more willing to shove ATC or very darn close to it because I threaten the bejeebus out of that guy, okay? I threaten him a lot, and that's important. Now, when we have the chip leader here, I do tend to back off a little bit. Now, not because I don't necessarily threaten his stack, but overall you will find that you have, in a general sense, you will have more leverage and more folding equity when you are shoving into equal stacks rather than larger stacks. And that's important. So rewind the last 10 seconds and listen to that back if you didn't get that, because that's something that can go into your philosophy of shoving in a lot of situations. So I'll say it again. You have more leverage and more folding equity against similar stacks or equal stacks, same thing, rather than larger stacks. Now, the reason why that's important is because by threatening that player, you can then shove wider into that player. And a little disclaimer, it doesn't always mean that that's true, obviously, because we have to remember behind these white blurred out names and screen names, there are real people sitting at their computers at home somewhere, and these are real people with real feelings, real emotions, and they're not all going to behave in the same manner. So that is default advice that you can carry with you in pretty much every situation you play until you have extra knowledge that tells you otherwise. Okay, so overall I want to shove close to ATC if that 1088 guy is there because I have more power on him, even though I am double that guy's stack, because if I can get leverage on someone, I'm going to do that. Now when there's a larger guy, I'll back off a little bit. I would say, gosh, 30 to 40% of your hands, maybe 50 tops, just because the blinds are ridiculously high right now. But I think, like, if you want to keep it simple, 30 to 40% of your hands. And again, we find ourselves saying this range of 10-9 suited, Jack 10 suited, that range of I need to be wide. I'm not sure how wide, but it's not crazy wide, and so things of that nature. So this is a time, however, where previously you may have heard me say things like, okay, if we're going to shove that range, 10-9 suited, Jack 10 suited, King Queen, maybe 10 Jack offsuit, Queen Jack offsuit, and not Ace 2. Well, Ace 2 is actually a good hand to shove in this situation. The reason is because you're very, very short stack. You only have 5 big blinds. If we were in, say, under the gun with 5 big blinds at a full table, or excuse me, under the gun with 10 big blinds or 8 big blinds or whatever, that's a time when we don't want to shove Ace 2 because it's very likely someone has a better hand behind us. When you are short-handed and especially short-stacked, it becomes vital to shove these hands, especially a measly little Ace 2, because with only 2 people behind you, it's less likely that someone has you dominated. So the best range to shove, given all those circumstances when you have the chip leader there, is still Ace 2 and 10-9 suited, Jack 10 suited, and Broadway hands, and any pair, of course. And that should help you think through these spots. But the biggest thing overall, again, is how do we play against an equal stack versus the chip leader? Now you know what to think about, and you can use that in tens of thousands of hands forever. And only took you 4 minutes to learn all of it. Hope it helps, guys. See ya.